Along with
Justin Bogart.
And we are here for the very first game of the day on Field 1 between Cal Quadball and Minnesota Quadball Club.
Yes.
This is the D2 matchup between these two teams. They have moved on to bracket play here on Sunday of Championship Day, and we're really excited to get things started. Justin and I wanted to set the stage for the entire day of action before we got into the two teams that are going to be playing in this game. So what did you see yesterday that you are most excited to come back onto the field today, Justin?
I mean, I just saw great matchups, exciting games, close games. All teams were fighting for a spot in bracket play, a chance to, come home with the glory. So I'm just excited to watch some quadball.
Yes, me too. There were great games yesterday across the board, close games, just thrilling victories, agonizing defeats across the board. Here in D2, we have Cal Quadball with 2 wins and no losses, won their pool, Pool E. UCLA came out of Pool F with 3 wins and no losses. Emerson College Quadball and Florida State both with 2 wins and 1 loss in their division. And then Baylor and Michigan State from Pool H. So, here in this matchup, as we said, we have Cal Quadball. That is the team on the left in blue jerseys. They'll be going left to right on your screen. They went 2-0 with victories over Boston University Quadball and University of Vermont Quadball yesterday, while the Minnesota Quadball team went 2-1.
So Minnesota went 2-1 with wins against Virginia Reunited and Brown Bears Quadball, and their loss coming to UCLA, who ended up winning that pool.
Yes. So this should be an exciting matchup. These two teams both really want to make a stand here in D2, and with all of the D2 teams, they've really put on a show. These teams are not like showing less quality out here. They are definitely strategically sound. They have a lot of athleticism. They are just developing themselves, and as several of the D1 teams this year were D2 last year, including both of the championship participants, both moved up to D1. That is what I believe will happen again this year. Several of these teams will be in D1 next year, and I am very excited for the development of these college programs across the sport.
Yeah, definitely. The experience you get at nationals is key to building up your program and giving your new, rookie players a chance to shine on the big stage.
All right, so we're continuing. We have a little ref meeting going on in the middle of the field here. I believe that we're waiting on a couple of officials to make it to us, and as we're doing that, as we've set the stage for D2, we might as well, if you're joining us, give you a sense of what was happening around the rest of the tournament. So over in D1, let's talk about what happened kind of as expected. The Creighton Quadball Club comes out of Pool A with those 3 victories over their opponents and are into bracket play once again.
Yeah, so in Pool B, again, as one may expect, the Harvard Horntails coming out of that pool with 3 wins and 0 losses.
Over in Pool C, we have Mizzou Quadball Club with 3 wins and no losses, but lurking second. Possibly a little bit unexpectedly, Texas Quadball, UT, 5-time U.S. national champions, tied with a certain team that Justin Bogart may have an affinity for with 5 national champions. But 2-1 with Texas in second place in that pool.
Yeah, that was interesting because I think Texas Quadball was the Pot 4 team, if I recall, in that pool, but they have a historic program, so you never know how they're going to perform.
Pool C was very difficult. Mizzou, Texas, Virginia, and Penn State all showed a lot of qualities yesterday. However, Pool D was, in fact, as expected, the pool of death. 2-1 from all 3 of the teams. From all 3 of the teams who made it to bracket play, which would be Michigan Quadball team, which wound up winning the pool by beating Arizona State in the last game of the day yesterday. A thrilling matchup coming down to the very end, but Michigan takes the pool instead of being knocked out and knocking out Arizona State University, which means Michigan Quadball 2-1, the champions. The contending Rutgers University Quadball 2-1, the second place team, and the defending national champion 2-1 UTSA Quadball third place in the division, as Michigan, Rutgers, and UTSA all exchange wins and losses with each other. Pool of Death living up to its name.
Yeah, so all those games were extremely close between those top three teams in that pool. I was watching that Michigan-Arizona State game at the end of the day, and it definitely brought the drama because of all the different scenarios that could happen depending on the outcome of that game, as well as the point differentials.
And that Arizona State team, who were the D2 champions last year, did go 0-3, but a very competitive in that extremely difficult division 0-3. Very good showing from that team. And then over on the club side, we have defending national champions, the Warriors, just taking care of business yesterday, 4-0.
In Pool X, we have the Bosnian Bear Sharks also coming out on top of that pool with their 3 wins and 0 losses. I was following that pool yesterday, and there definitely was some competitive games that, Bosnian Bear Sharks were down a little bit in those games and ended up coming back to win.
Yes, a lot of games with Bosnia where there were some really, really dominant parts of the game, and then some lulls and some times where they had to come back, but I still think of them as strong contenders. Clearly the Warriors strong contenders. DCQC from the Warriors pool put on a nice showing in their 3 victories. Bay Area Breakers doing a nice job in their games in this pool with Bosnia, along with the Reapers as well. Over in Pool Y, again, just a very, very, very difficult pool that came down to the wire for the top spot with the last game of the day yesterday between Boone Train and Texas Hill Country Heat, which was a intense matchup, to say the least, which Boone Train comes out on top of, and I think was that steel forging type of experience that may be able to push Boone Train forward in the rest of this tournament. Or it may light that fire under Heat that just pushes them to their second national championship.
All right, so in Pool Z, we have the Boston Black Pandas coming on top of that pool with their 4 wins and 0 losses. I was able to watch some of those games. Boston Black Pandas looked very strong, especially with their veteran beater core that they have.
I feel like that Boston Black Pandas team going 4-0 was unexpected by some, but not by me. That team had the ability and the experience to go far, and they've been lurking all year, right? They've been experimenting with things, they've been working on things, and they are always ready. You never know what's going to happen, but I think that they showed yesterday that they can be a contending team. Twin Cities 3-1, very, 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 very skilled team. Rightfully shows that they are a contender. And Lost Boys, another team that Justin Bogart knows a thing or two about, right in the mix, 2-2. Definitely going to be playing today, and definitely have long-term fans, as they have been on their never-ending story for many years.
Yes, they've been around for a while, and we'll see how they do.
It looks as though we are now very close to being able to get this game started. So let's move over to this particular game. What is it that you are looking forward to seeing here between Minnesota and Cal Quadball?
I would like both teams to come out with intensity. I know that it's the first game of the day, very early on day 2, 8:30 a.m. time slot. We're starting a little bit delayed here. But the first game of the day is usually hard to find that intensity. So both teams are going to be looking to try to, within themselves, come out firing on all fronts.
Absolutely the case. You had a lot of games yesterday. They were intense games. You had to get to this point, and then you had to get whatever rest you could. You had to study as much as you could, and now every single possession for the rest of the tournament is life or death. And over here on the left side of your screen, like I said, we have Cal Quadball in the blue jerseys going left to right. In the red jerseys is Minnesota Quadball Club. They will be going right to left. You have, it looks like, starters out on the lines, at least a few of them. For Cal, we have number 1, Billy O. And number 38. Looks like number 38 is one of the chasers over there. We have number 4, Lucas Menzies. Number 32, that is, Andrew Ramos. And number 7, Crystal Swan. So that's a good set of very, very, very skilled and athletic chasers for this Cal Quadball team. They're going to look to get opening drive to get them on the board in this game. While, as you were mentioning, the Minnesota team, hopefully from the Cal perspective, will be back on their heels a little bit. Maybe still not warmed up from the early morning.
Well, I was here early, and I did see the entire Minnesota team warming up while Cal was arriving on the pitch. So they're definitely warmed up here to try to match Cal's intensity that they usually bring to these tournaments.
Mm-hmm. It looks like they've moved over to do their cheers now, so I don't know if they're on the screen, but we'll get that fun experience. One of the great parts of Quadball is the teams all have a unique cheer that they do to hype their team up, get their fans excited about the game. There goes Minnesota right now. And Cal. Officially get those starters out on the field. Let's look at if it is the same group of players that we were looking at. It is a little bit different. We do have Lucas Menzies. We do have Gabby Spirandelli in at chaser. We do have Andrew Ramos in at chaser. We do have Crystal Swan, and we do have Billy O. It looks like Spirandelli, they keep switching out who their other chaser is, but we looks like we don't quite have time to get all of them in, but we will update you as we get along. With the starting lineups, we do have the chasers for Cal, who will be going for the quad ball, one of the bludgers, beater dodgeballs, and we have the 2 dodgeballs here on the near side that the Minnesota 2 players will be going for.
Blue, Billy, blue.
Almost a brooms up.
You can wait till he's down. Sorry, I messed you up. Billy, go back. Sorry about that.
We never have delays in quad ball. This is all an optical illusion, folks. This game has started.
The games start when they mean to. Precisely.
All right, I think we are now ready to go. And now we have brooms up.
Ooh.
Luca Menzies gets the quad ball for Cal and heads to the far side of the field with a beating support from Andrew Ramos in front, passes it back up top.
That was a very aggressive run-up by Billy to get that dodgeball.
2 dodgeballs in the game. A pass in from Alex Peterson is knocked away, and that is a nice stop from Minnesota on the first drive. Good stop, team defense from Minnesota, able to stop that Cal drive with the big keeper, number 11, Jonah Furman, in the middle of everything.
Yeah, so it's important to get that first stop, build up your confidence, get your offense going. So we'll see what they can do.
It's back to the near side here with Furman, who gives a give and go, goes back, but it looks like it's going to be cleaned up by Cal, and Menzies is able to take off running the other direction. This is not looking good. There's none of the Minnesota defense back. And that is too easy for Menzies there.
Yeah, so that's what Cal's beaters are going to try to create those fast break drive opportunities.
That is 10-0 for Cal with the goal from number 4. Exchange in the center here as Minnesota's just trying to get their feet under them. Number 6 here on the near side, Jade Gray with the quad ball. They pass back to the center. It's far off to the other side there. Gray's beat right as the quad ball comes in, gets it back to Furman.
So Cal, is playing that trees defense.
Furman tries to go through everybody, but is stopped with nice work there from Peterson.
I was saying that Cal's playing that trees defense where they put one defender by each hoop. That's one of the favorite defenses, I'd say, of the tournament.
Yep, that trees zone, modified trees zone, is a big-time meta at the current state of the game. No one's figured out exactly how to break it quite yet, but I think we're close.
You can't let Billy get beat.
Menzies looks for an opening. There's an exchange in the beater game that might provide it. Spirindelli's looking for space here on the near side. Menzies goes in. Beat is clear. And that's a second straight goal for Menzies.
Very, very squirmy there behind the hoops.
A little bit of a press there from Cal, but Minnesota's able to get out of it.
One back. Watch the pass behind who? Yes, I like it, Billy.
Cal's got that defense set.
Ooh, heavy.
Oh, there is.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was a foul in the dodgeball game. We'll have to see whether it will lead to a card.
Yeah, it looked like that beat was a little high for Cal.
Meanwhile, what do you think that Minnesota needs to do here in order to kind of settle down, get themselves back into, it's only 2-0, so it's not like they're out of the game, but it looks like they are, in fact, a little bit back on their heels.
Yeah, so they need to make some adjustments to figure out how to get around Cal's defense. I think Cal, is really working well together, making sure, with that dodgeball control, making it hard for Minnesota to find their rhythm and their passes.
And that is, in fact, a head beat on number 1, the beater from Cal. It's 1 minute in the box or until Minnesota scores. This is their opportunity with the power play.
Right, and now that, that was a penalty on Cal's beaters, Minnesota should now have dodgeball control, so let's see what they can do with that.
So we have Furman, Jacob Furman, the big keeper here in the center, does make a drive, has help in front, exchange in the dodgeball game, pass goes, that's the pass shot, which is my favorite. Could have gone either way. Goes through the hoop, and it's good, and that gets Minnesota on the board. Exactly what they needed.
So that brings Cal back to full strength. So Cal is going to look to try to get dodgeball control back now that their beater is in play.
Yes, I like it, Andrew. I like it a lot.
Minnesota keeps their control and had been pressing but decides against it. I think was a good decision. They just I think they need to play solid, make a couple stops, get another goal, and then this game is back where they want it. Peterson here on the near side gets back to Menzies in the center.
Billy, get behind. We're not doing anything when you're not position.
And the dish to drive, drive and dish it in. That's an assist this time from number 4 for the goal from number 13, Peterson, and that is 30
Okay, we have a fast break for Minnesota.
And that is another goal for Minnesota for Furman. And that is nice. That is exactly what Minnesota needed to do to keep themselves right where they wanted to be. That's a good response.
Yeah, so Cal was caught, celebrating after their last goal, and Minnesota just ran down the pitch.
Yeah, you got to get back on D.
Yep. So Minnesota's playing the historically called defense called Baylito, because it was kind of like that Baylor D where now we call it trees, where now they only have 2 players by the hoop. So usually you do that so you can guard both the quad ball carrier and the best passing option that Cal has.
Cal does have both dodgeballs now, and they are trying to give a convoy to Menzies. Menzies looks for an opening and takes the shot. It looks as though it's just a little bit off and to the right. And it goes all the way out of bounds down in the right corner, and that's a turnover to Minnesota.
Yeah, that was interesting. Minnesota's quad ball player was kind of boxing out the Cal person so that the ball would just roll out of bounds.
You play smart is better than playing hard.
Yeah.
Watch the 1.5. Watch the 1.5. They have control.
So we have a new keeper in. This is Josh Neuenschwander for Minnesota. Oh, and also in Rory Yuskovic. They get the ball and make an opening.
Oh, great
nice
pass
give and go
behind the hoop.
from Yuskovic. The goal is by number 64, Nels Parento. They get it home off the assist from Yuskovic.
Yeah, that was a good find behind the hoops. Cal was a little slow to rotate to the other side, allowing that open goal scoring opportunity.
We are all tied up at 30-30. Cal still with those dodgeballs.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely important in this game, having that dodgeball control. Opening up lanes for your
stoppage
chasers and keepers.
I did not see what caused this stoppage at all. I just saw a lot of nice movement from Spirandelli and Swan. I really like to see the off-ball chasers opening up space. There was they were crossing across each other. I know that in basketball and other sports that's common, but when you started playing this sport as long ago as the 2 of us did, that's a later development than some of us would like to admit coming into this one.
Yes, I'm definitely surprised every time I see like a pick being set, and I'm like, oh, that's such a good play. And obviously, that's not that, strategy-wise, that's not very difficult to think of, but.
What do you know? It might help to use the dodgeballs in the offensive side of the game. Who would have ever thunk it?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, positioning is definitely important in this game. So spreading out your players that could get a pass, spread out that defense will give you a greater opportunity to score.
It looks like it was just a repositioning and we were going again. Menzies. Oh, nice give and go, and that is the positioning. Exactly what we were talking about. In perfect position there, Spirandelli for the assist from Menzies.
Yeah, that cut by Spirandelli was beautiful. Aaron pass here. Beater's cleaning things up.
Nice work there from the Cal beater, number 1, Billy O. Cleaning everything up, but and that is nice. Nice clean work from the beaters. There's a lot of action happening, and Peterson is sniped from behind by number 33.
That was Jake Braddock.
All the way across the field with that pass. It's nice. It is actually brought in from Yuskovic, who gets it up top to Neuenschneider.
Over the back is okay, Billy, if you want.
Ooh, good defense by number 4.
Yeah, that defense from Menzies is able to clean that thing up. There's a lot of action there. A lot of the Minnesota players doing a lot of nice work, but just not quite crisp enough to be able to put it home.
Yeah, that was very good hands to just disrupt the handle by the Minnesota player and stealing that quad ball.
Once again, 2 dodgeballs up for Cal. Now 2 new beaters. It's Ashlyn O, number 23, there up top, and then Jed Obra, the other beater, number 27, beside them. Both in front of Menzies. Up over the top, and it goes in.
Again, it was that shot pass there.
Yeah, love it. Either it goes in or it goes to your teammate. It is the perfect thing.
Get back, get back. Get back, get back, get back.
It is 50-30. Nice response here after Minnesota ties it for Cal to get up 2 in the last 2 possessions.
Get back, get back.
Okay, so Minnesota did get dodgeball control out of that, though. So
Also, on the 5 goals from Cal, either the goal or the assist, every time, Menzies. Near side here, Emily Sveda gets it behind the hoops. Oh, but that beat comes in nicely, right at the right time. You love to see the ball-timed beat.
yeah, you got to be quicker with your decision when the beaters are
Right there, yeah.
right there, exactly.
Menzies, Spirandelli here on the near side.
Ashley, get in behind.
Spacing behind number 24, Noli Kim. That does get to Kim.
Okay.
Back to Menzies up top.
See that next time. See the step out.
They're trying to pull the Minnesota defense away from the hoops, just taking it slow, methodical. Shannon,
I like that.
strategic
Here we go.
mind here.
Oh.
The crossbar is not your friend.
Yes. Hoops play defense sometimes.
Going the other way, it's Furman. Furman goes up top of the hoop. Oh, I thought it went in.
They said no.
I thought it went in. Well, I guess the hoops played defense again because this time it goes back to Cal.
Sometimes it's hard to see exactly where the ball is traveling when you're on a sideline view.
Are you tired?
All right.
Is my time to start?
So another defensive stop by the hoops. The last two times up the pitch, and this time it's back in the hands of Cal. Minnesota has their defense set now. This time they do have the dodgeballs, so they were able to do more of what they want. I see that they have their hoop line defense.
Yep.
And fist up if you can.
So they had the dodgeballs, I believe, in last defensive possession as well.
Oh, that's a shot this time by number 24, and it's good.
Yeah, so this time the shot was more pure and it went through the hoop.
That is Noli Kim with the goal that makes it 60-30 Cal. That is very hard to defend. The defender of the middle hoop was a little bit lower in height and was just not able to get up that high. So if it's on target, there's nothing
Yes,
to do.
and also the release by the Cal player was very quick.
Yeah, quick release, nice amount of speed. Yuskovic here on the near side with the quad ball for Minnesota. They really want to put a goal on here. Nice beater defense. Cal's zone holding up really strong.
Don't step out there. Not too far.
Jonah Furman in the center gets it back to Yuskovic. There's a beat in the center. Oh, the shot pass works. Back both ways. And Furman is beat, and it's going to lead to a fast break the other way. There's nobody stopping Menzies on this.
I was going to say, I really like Cal's sideline players, definitely coaching those on the field.
We do have a stoppage in play, so we'll have to see what happens. And if it is a foul on Cal before that goal, it would mean that the goal is disallowed. If it is after the goal and on Cal, then the goal will be good. And of course, if it's on Minnesota, either way, the goal is good.
We have water?
Yeah. So, as it stands right now with the goal good, on the transition fast break from Menzies, it is 70-30. Cal starting to express a little bit of dominance in the game.
Yeah, as a chaser or keeper, you love it when your beaters kind of open up and knock out all the defensive players, and you just have to pick up the quad ball and run straight to the hoops.
Yeah, you got nothing in front of you. The goal is confirmed good. So it is 70-30.
No,
Cal in the lead. A little bit of a change again from the Minnesota side.
One behind, one behind, one behind.
We have Yuskovic here on the near side. We have Schwander with the quad ball in the center.
I like that. Go get wrapped here. Watch the wrap.
Beaters trying to engage, trying to loosen up this stout Cal defense. Schwander,
And
nice.
The Beaters did just that. So the Minnesota Beaters able to open up a lane for that shot.
And that is goal from Schwander to make it 70-40. That is what Minnesota needed.
And the Beaters there came up with dodgeball control. So very good possession for Minnesota.
That is the best outcome of a non-flag situation. Possession. It's Noli Kim on the far side, doesn't see an opening, passes it back to Menzies to direct the offense, and there's another stoppage.
Sorry.
I didn't see what happened.
I didn't see what happened either, but I was just going to say, I love hearing Minnesota be a little more communicative out there on the pitch now.
The player for Cal has the beater for Cal has been sent to the box number 17 for an equipment violation. And so that does cause a turnover to Minnesota. Minnesota now retaining possession of everything and has another attempt to get themselves another goal.
Yeah. All right, taking it slow, looking to pass to the side chaser.
Schwander has an opening and takes it.
Yeah, that was really good ball movement by Minnesota there to find that shot.
Yeah, little give and go over to Yuskovic, back to Schwander and in.
Come on, Cal! Don't let it beat you down.
And Minnesota has responded exactly as they needed to. Now it's up to Cal to respond because since Minnesota regained control, they have not been able to get themselves where they want to be. Noli Kim passes back to this side of Menzies, who looks for an opening, tries to rip the defense out of position, uses that athleticism, goes by two, and gets it in.
Yeah, so Cal just went back to what was working before on that offensive possession.
Yeah, what's working is number 4. Doing work.
Yes, very quick, hard to wrap, hard to prevent and stop that momentum once number 4 gets close to the hoops.
Jade Gray takes up the quad ball, gives it off, knocks it into the center to Furman. A little give and go back to Gray. High press from Cal makes Minnesota use their reset. That is the one reset allowed from Minnesota. So that was a nice use of the press there to put a lot of pressure on this Minnesota team from Cal. That is potentially going to be well, we'll have to see what happens with the potential head contact on the beat from the dodgeball game there. In the meantime, what do you see?
I see that Cal, for a moment there, had regained dodgeball control. Now the dodgeballs are on the ground because of that play in the beater game. But we'll see what happens, where those dodgeballs end up, and whose possession after this call is made.
And so, yeah, the last few possessions here, we've had a lot of scoring. the defense has been, the offense seems to have been able to find the spaces that they can get around the defense, particularly when the team that has both dodgeballs has been able to express more dominance. Earlier in the game, it was more even. It didn't matter. The team that had the defensive set was able to still hold their own. But now, as we've hit the midsection of the Seeker Floor period, it seems like the offenses have figured out their game when they have both dodgeballs. Nobody has figured out how to hit with both dodgeballs in the defensive set.
All right, so
There we go, the
that
other
was
direction.
a penalty.
And it is all the way in from number 4, which does release the penalized beater, but does make it 90-50. That was Menzies with yet another goal on the fast break. All the way to the back corner. There's a little bit of space, and it's taken.
Wow, it went straight to the keeper for Cal, though.
And it is. Yeah,
Wow.
that is what you don't want to have happen. Off the goal from Jonah Furman. It winds up in the hands of Menzies, the worst possible place for Minnesota for it to wind up, and it winds up 100-60. A lot of things happening in the beater game, while in the chaser game, Furman winds up taking it all the way to the hoops and through.
Yeah, so the beaters were definitely distracted by each other, which just let Minnesota drive up the pitch.
So Jacob Furman with one of the last 2 goals, Jonah Furman with the other goal, and just all kinds of things happening on the pitch on both sides on that last play. But in result, 100-70, Cal still in the lead. Back into the back corner for Cal.
Offense, beaters. Don't be stagnant.
Chloe Fu over here on the near side finding space by the hoop.
You can do stuff without throwing your ball. Take space. Get tap outs. Do something.
Shannon Ung coaching up their team here from the Cal sidelines.
Take the tap out. See the tap out on the small hoop.
And there's clearing in the center. Ball comes here to the near side to Fu. Fu tries to get it, tries to save it, and does. Nice work there from Fu to save that ball.
Good box out there, but we have
But
a
there's a
wrap.
lot of defense, and Fu is taken down with a great wrap
Hey! What is
from
that?
Jay Gray. And the ball comes out.
We do have a beater, though, and we have the beat.
The beat comes in on Parenteau. That was nice work from the beaters from Cal. Cleaned it up, and Cal stops the fast break. On Nels Parenteau.
Caesar. Pass sub for Nolan.
But Cal, Minnesota does have dodgeball control still.
Come in.
Cal smartly slowing things down now after all of that action on the last play.
C0 again. Oh, it's not 0. Never mind. Sorry.
Peterson looking up top. Attempt to beat in the center is missed. Peterson here to the near side. Dodgeball clear, missed beat. Noli Kim gets the quad ball out, but it is going to be taken by Minnesota. It rolls to the ground. Furman comes away with it. Furman with space.
Okay, we have no dodgeball opportunity here.
Furman with no one in front. Does not take it all the way in, but it is cleaned up by Parenteau behind.
Cal's beaters are back.
Nels Parenteau goes over the top. It's too high, and it's cleaned up by Cal. Crystal Swan covers it up.
Yeah, so we had a no dodgeball opportunity there briefly, but not able to capitalize, unfortunately.
Just off on the shot with no dodgeballs.
19 minutes, team.
1 minute until
Flag runner.
for flag runner on pitch.
19-minute game time.
The score remains 100-70. Cal wants to try to keep dodgeball control for this entire minute where they would have it when the flag runner period starts.
Andrew, look
So
there.
they're looking
Alex,
to make
look there.
this work well here. They do
Here with
exactly
Napalm.
that.
There we go.
Let's go.
And that is the perfect strategic play. Keep your dodgeball control, get your goal, put Minnesota on their heels.
Yeah, so they tried a little, 1.5 napalm, whatever you want to call it, where the beater one of the Cal beaters threw the dodgeball back to their side and just tried to wrap Minnesota's beater.
Yeah, that goal coming in there, the best possible work to retain that dodgeball control, get the goal. They might have wanted to hold it for the entire minute, but that was a long time. So Minnesota does keep one last opportunity here. Almost to the end of the period. This will be the last possession. Minnesota opportunity. Maybe get the goal, maybe get dodgeball control. We'll see how they play it.
Uh-oh.
There's the exchange.
Aaron
Let's
pass.
see what happens.
Okay, dodgeball's on the ground.
A lot of
Pass.
dodgeballs moving, and the quad ball heads towards the hoops, hits the ground. That is the intermission call. And so, because of what happened on the exchange, the quad ball does not go in. It does mean that it will be Cal's quad ball possession. The dodgeball is loose behind, but it is basically Cal's.
Yeah, closer to Cal's beaters.
Cal's beaters around it. There's not really any Minnesota players in the area, so perfect scenario for Cal. 110 to 70 will mean 170 is going to be our set score. We will take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to set the scene for what's going to be an exciting finish to this game. All right, welcome back to this exciting matchup between Cal and Minnesota. We did confirm that was Alex Peterson, number 13, with that last goal for Cal. We do have a set score of 170 here, and Cal with 110, Minnesota with 70. That's the type of situation where if I'm Minnesota, I feel like I need the flag. But you can see right there in the center, oh, that is going to be a timeout.
Right starting off the period with a timeout.
There is an immediate timeout. But as you can see, as I was about to say, so we will have 1 minute to talk, which is great. We can set the scene a little bit. And the scene is Justin Guillory. As you can see, is that flag runner. Does that change the strategy in any way? Because Guillory yesterday, at least 2 matches I saw, extremely difficult to catch. You don't want to wind up giving up goals in the quadball game by putting all of your efforts into this.
I was going to say, it's flag runner on pitch. There's a lot of situations you have to be cognizant of, and one is you can't put all your beaters, for example, on the flag runner because Cal can just get their 6 goals and win the game that way. They don't need to catch the flag to win.
Right. Well, we have. It looks like Minnesota is absolutely going for it because they are putting their most dominant force from the quad ball game, and we've restarted. We have number 11, Jonah Furman, in at Seeker, along with Peterson in at Seeker. Justin's gonna keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on the quad ball game for you. And we'll keep as much of both of them commentated as possible. We have both cameras going. And here's Menzies in the quad ball game. It is off the top of the hoop and in. Of course, today that shot is hot. 120 to 70.
Cal's kind of having their beaters create a shield around the flag runner, give their Seeker an opportunity alone with the flag.
Minnesota's looking for space, trying to get another goal here. That is Emily Zveda, who places the quad ball in, but it's knocked away, and it winds up back in the hands of Menzies.
Ooh!
Spirandelli and Swan, the chasers, creating space for Menzies as Menzies brings up the quad ball. Quad ball is knocked out. It's on the ground, and it's a possession. It's an opportunity, and the opportunity is capitalized on by Neuenschwander. That was excellent work. The press from Neuenschwander knocks it away. The beat and the knockaway and the takeaway from Neuenschwander leads to the immediate goal, 120-80.
Yeah, so Cal, still having a majority of time going after the flag runner here with their beaters preventing Minnesota's seeker from getting close.
Menzies up top, another goal. 130-80. Minnesota cannot afford to let Cal get a goal every time down the pitch. Zveda on the far side, long pass across the near side here to Anna Nelson.
Oh, we have Minnesota's seeker had an opportunity to catch the flag there.
Nelson gets it into Yusevich, but it's just a little bit off, and it's cleaned up by Cal. Noli Kim comes away with a quad ball.
Get up there, Jack, get the fuck up there. Come on. Good. Yes. Yes, Jack.
Menzies
No, that's
just
not
wants
clean.
to
Again.
methodically chip away at the now only 4 goals that they need. The shot over the top is just a little bit too high. It goes out of bounds, so this is finally a stop for Minnesota.
Yes. Let's go, Jet. Good shit, Jet. Alex, are you okay? You want some?
Yeah, give me one.
Come on, get on yellow. Get yellow.
Neuenschwander
Don't have any non-mill.
displayed some great skills and has a little bit of space if they can get around this beater in the center who's focusing on the flag runner. Has to get around Menzies, gets it to Yuskovic, back across, and it's Zveda. Zveda gets it back to
All the dodgeballs are on the ground.
And Parento put it home.
All right, Minnesota has a chance for the flag runner right now. Rare opportunity for them, but let's see if they can capitalize and get to the 35 points needed to make this comeback.
And they have this caught. That was a move over the top from Gray, Jade Gray, number 6, right after the goal that made it 130-90. A launching move from Jade Gray. There will be a discussion from the officials. Nels Parento, they put the goal in off of the great assist from Emily Zveda. Then Jade Gray with the athletic over-the-top move on the flag runner, Justin Guillory. Will everything be legal? That's really the only question. The actual detachment of the flag, definitely clean. What did you see?
And the catch is good. I was going to say it looked good to me, but now it's been confirmed. So this was a huge swing right there for Minnesota. They had that one opportunity where they got rid of Cal's shield of beaters by the flag runner, and they capitalized on that opportunity. So they didn't have very many, but all you need to do is capitalize on one of them.
And unlike sometimes when you get into this situation, there is still a lot of game left because there's 4 goals away for Cal, 5 goals away for Minnesota before you actually get to the end of the game. So it's not like Cal is immediately going to be able to transition things. Even if they get a goal here, Minnesota can still keep themselves into it. They do want to make stops, of course, but they've made stops now, especially Neuenschwander on defense. So Parento leading some offensive score effectiveness along with Zveda and a few other players really kicking up. And of course, as is always the case, both the dodgeball players and the seekers, in this case, number 11, Furman, back into the quadball game. There's a lot of possibilities here for this Minnesota team, but also for the Cal team, as the Cal team now has all of their weapons at their disposal as well, including those dominant beaters.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say you can feel the momentum shifting a little bit to Minnesota. They sound more confident now with that flag catch, but Cal's just got to be like, we were up in the Quadball game in the first period, so we just got to get back to that, score our goals, make our defensive stops.
Billy O's trying to open up space for Menzies and Peterson.
Andrew, get in.
Peterson's here, number 13 on the near side.
Yes, pick that up.
Beat attempt made in the center. Looks like they are. Cal's able to take control and open up space. Menzies is able to take all the way to the hoop. That's exactly what they needed. Use the beaters to create space. Menzies can create his own space. When the beaters are there to also do it, it's really hard to stop for this Minnesota team.
Yes, and as I was saying, that's what they were doing, before flag runner on pitch. They're going back to that, what worked before. They just need a few more goals now.
140 to 125. Crucial situation for Minnesota here. Really need to get a goal. Make sure that they maintain, not exactly their momentum, because that goal is a little bit of chip in their momentum, but really maintain their hold on this game. Yuskovic here on the near side. Back up top.
Ooh.
Oh, nice move from the
Interesting.
beater here. Interesting strategic ploy. And
Oh,
it
and it
opens up
works.
space and it works.
Oh,
And everybody's able to go back.
no dodgeballs. No dodgeballs briefly. Oh, who played defense again?
Neuenschwander getting that goal
Oh,
for.
great wrap by Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a nice stop by Minnesota. It looks like they've wrapped it up. It looks like they cleaned things up behind the hoops, and the Cal beater goes down. We need to stop play. We got to stop play and take a moment away from what's happening over there, and we'll just talk about strategically what was going on in the game. The score right now is 140 to 135. That goal from Neuenschwander is exactly what the Minnesota team needed. And if this defensive stand holds up, depending on what happened with the physical contact over there, that will be essentially the best opportunity in this game for Minnesota. What do you want Minnesota to do on this next possession?
I think, they definitely playing with more confidence. They seem more comfortable out there, so they just have to be patient. Find that high percentage scoring opportunity that in the last few possessions they've been able to find.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And as is clearly the case, if those Cal beaters are not right there to make them not be able to get to the places they want to be, these Minnesota players, all of them are capable of putting the ball through the hoop.
All right,
That is an injury substitution for Cal. Looks as though the balls are all remaining. There's no penalties, so it is a defensive stop from Minnesota. We get to see how they implement strategically what we were just discussing. Peterson does implement a soft press. Quadball gets stripped away from behind. Peterson with a nice strip from behind on Gray. And that gets the Quadball going back the other direction. Cal with an opportunity here now. Menzies over the top to Peterson. Peterson in.
Yeah, so the Cal player was sneaky there behind the Minnesota player to get that steal. That's when your teammates need to scream at you that someone's coming up front to behind you.
They really needed to tap beat out Peterson. Peterson was there. They needed to just make sure Peterson was no longer a threat. Mm-hmm. Peterson was clearly planning to be a threat. Mm-hmm. Furman looks for an opening. Furman wants space, gets it to Neuenschwander at the top, over to Spade on the far side, back to Neuenschwander. They need space, they need a goal. Spada picks it up off the ground. Nice save. Back to Furman. Good pass. Back to Spada.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, good hands.
Gray with nice hands. Back to Spada. And Spada, nice save. Neuenschwander's beat out. Spada's beat out. Good stop by Cal.
John and Millie, you are cooking.
All right. 150, 135. 2 dodgeballs in the hands of Cal. Cal wants to put the finishing touches on this game in the next few minutes.
Look to do something here on offense.
Ooh, there we go.
Another 1.5 over the top. It's a little bit low this time. Peterson tries to save the quad ball, but is not able to.
You got none. Press. This is the
Oh, they're
press.
pressing.
Yeah, beat him. Right, brother.
Minnesota is pressed behind the hoops. It looks like it's taken by Menzies behind the Minnesota hoops. It's stolen. Menzies gets the quad ball out, but there's a nice diving stop behind the hoops by one of the Minnesota quad ball players. That was
Oh, great catch by Minnesota's beater.
There's a lot of action happening here with both teams knowing this is
Fast
do or
break.
die. Furman on the fast break for Minnesota. Needs to go from behind. Yeah, there's a lot of physical contact there on that play, as Furman had an opening toward the hoop with no bludgers, no dodgeballs in front. That was a lot of contact that happened as the Cal chaser was just trying to make a stop. But that was a really nice stop as Menzies was playing hard behind the hoops, really trying to put Cal into position to be 1 goal away. The Minnesota chasers were just all over it, not giving ground as you sometimes do, getting on your back feet. All right, that is going to be a yellow card on Peterson. 1 minute in the box, or until Minnesota scores on the back contact. Again, like I said,
tripping. I was running.
It was aggressive. It was a play to try as Furman just got past it, basically. It sounds like it was slow. It could have been any number of things. And
We have the goal.
Yeah, the goal by Furman is put in because it was right by the hoops after that play.
Yeah, I was going to say that Peterson tried to slow up, knew they were in a position to potentially make that illegal contact, tried to stop themselves but couldn't.
And that does make it 150 to 145. Despite the couple minutes of struggle there for Minnesota, they're still not far away. They just need to make a couple more stops. There's an exchange. This one is a steal of that dodgeball.
Dodgeball's on the ground.
Space. It's over the top. Hits Peterson, and Peterson's able to save it. Peterson goes to short hoop, and it's through. Another goal from Peterson there. 160 for Cal. 160 to 145. That will mean that Cal's next possession is goal to go. Gustafson. Brent Gustafson with that great play 2 possessions ago behind the hoops to make sure that Menzies didn't put Cal away earlier. Furman here on the near side. Neuenschwander gets it to Gustafson on the far side. And Neuenschwander with a nice shot.
All right, 160 to 155 with the set score being 170. Cal just needs this goal.
So here, Cal, 2 dodgeballs, 1 quad ball. Number 13, Alex Peterson. Number 4, Luca Menzies. Their great spacing from Spirandelli. Their great spacing from Swan. They have a lot of things going for them in this possession. They do use their reset, and there's a stoppage. Oh, but the stoppage looks like it's going to take away. Oh no, it's going to give them an even more advantageous position in goal to go.
I was going to say, both teams just have to take this possession as any other possession, try not to let the nerves get to them, because it is the, if Cal gets this goal, they win the game.
A number 36 for the beater number 36 for Minnesota is in the box, which will mean that it's a power play as well. That is Meredith McDowell. All right, both beaters, power play, so an extra player, all of those chasers. This opportunity is going to be really hard for Minnesota.
I think Ford's just going to try to take it to the hoop.
Nope.
Alley-oop
for the win. Menzies with the assist. Peterson with the goal to win. Really great showing from Minnesota. Spectacular display from Cal. They're looking good for the rest of the day. Exciting game.
I think Minnesota was thinking what I was saying, where Ford was just going to drive through. They had to respect that, which left the wing chaser open for that alley-oop.
Off of that goal from Alex Peterson, this game ends 170 for Cal, 155 for Minnesota. Again, like I said, just a really nice game from both teams. Very well fought, close game, clean game. A lot of nice quad ball out there. What do you think what do you want to see for Cal and the rest of D2 today?
I would like them to stick to their fundamentals. They seem to be well coached. I heard, their players on the sideline being very vocal throughout that entire game. Okay, they just want to touch up some possessions, but other than that, I think they played a very strong game, and they should stick to that.
And we will hopefully be back with an interview with one of the Cal players in just a couple minutes. Until then, I've been Clay Dockery.
And I'm Justin Bogart.
And we will see you for the next game here on field number 1, which should be a matchup with the D1 teams. D1 teams in the D1 bracket, Rutgers and Texas State. Like I said, we're going to try to catch one of the Cal players for an interview right before that.
Kyle Beater. Hi, I'm Nolan, Cal Chaser.
Crystal Swan, Cal Chaser.
All right, congratulations on your win. What about the play stood out to you?
To be honest, I think all across the board, I think we played as one cohesive unit. I think from top to bottom, Chaser to Beater, to even our special teams, I think we really do a good job at just being one unit. And I think within the D2 bracket specifically, it's the teams that stay as one unit and can handle adversity the best that will come up on top.
Yeah, I was hearing some of the sideline players coaching the people out there on the pitch. Do you think that helped?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think one thing that makes Quidditch or Quadball unique is that the fact that it's intergenerational. I think we have a coach that's played for 6 years, and I think he knows this game like Cody knows basketball. So I think we're really in good hands here in the D2 bracket.
All right, so what are you looking to improve upon for the next game?
I think, honestly, we have a special team called the Special Players that we also want to give a shout-out because I think we've been working on this unit. We want to test it out in our final matchup and see how it handles up. So shout-out Special Teams.
Special players and our special plays.
Let's go.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Good luck in your next game.